Welcome to the Rick Dollar Show podcast. Here's a guy who thought those voices in his head sounded familiar. Your host, Rick Dollar.
Rick Dollar here for the Rick Dollar Show and the Rick Dollar Show podcast. You can catch us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, Audible, you name it, we're there. Like I say, we're at all the parties, okay? My guest today is Mr. Bryan McDowell. Bryan, how are you, sir?
What's going on, Rick? Thanks for having me.
Man, I'm all over it. You know, I'm about 3 cups of coffee in, and I'm good.
Oh, I need to catch up then. Hang on just a second. I like that Carter family record you got behind you.
Yeah, man. I tell you what, I had a lot of old vinyl, and I started looking through. I had them all in a tub, like a tote. And they were just getting in the way in the garage. You know, everybody would walk by. I'm like, oh, God, I can't pick that up. You couldn't because there was like 95 records in there, you know.
Right.
So, you know, I thought, man, I've got some really cool stuff. I should frame it, you know, and use it, put it to some use. And so there's only one that I can't do that with, and that's the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band Will the Circle album. It's like three records, 2-sided, and the vinyl is extremely thick. I mean, it's heavy. And you can't put it in a frame like that. It won't fit. I haven't found a frame yet that I can use to put them in. So,
well, I cut my teeth on that stuff. I've actually been playing with John McEwen a little bit recently.
Oh, really? Yeah. John. We've had him on the show a couple of times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Started out with, I think first time I met him was at Song of the Mountains in Marion, Virginia. I was working for Tim White up there, going in and interviewing the guests that were coming in. And it was just really cool, man. It was kind of a bucket list thing to sit down with John McEwen. I was extremely happy that day, believe me. But
isn't he like, he's some kind of presence, you know?
He is, man.
And his ability to kind of connect with people and connect with the crowd is,
I know.
and
it's crazy. We're building a new podcast studio with Randy Woods down here in Bloomingdale, Georgia. And there's pictures all over the little display area where all the really cool guitars and things like that are. There's a couple of banjos over there. And John's his picture's like 3 or 4 different places there.
Yeah.
You know, he used to play at Randy's a lot in the picking parlor. But
what did he do solo shows, or did he do you're just saying you just come down and hang out?
No, actually he'd come in and do shows. Yeah, I mean, like Randy has a thing called the picking parlor there. That seats about 120 on a good night. And
yeah, that's a great spot.
Yeah, and it's a built-in crowd. I mean, they show up. Let me tell you, it's a beautiful thing.
Randy, I've been playing some of his instruments. I mean, you know, for a long time, just kind of passing them back and forth with friends, and man, what a builder he is.
He's a luthier, man. I mean, that's like in the dictionary it says luthier, Randy Woods, you know. But let's talk about
that, but I believe you.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about how you started out. When did you first pick up an instrument?
I was 5.
Dang.
Wow. And you hear the pin drop. 5. And it was a fiddle.
No kidding.
I picked up a fiddle. Didn't learn very much. Well, I don't know how much I learned between then and 8 years old. When I was 8 years old, I got with a gentleman named Arvel Freeman around Asheville. And by that time, my sister was already playing some music. She had picked up my fiddle, and then she got her own fiddle. And so we kind of had a family thing going on, but the music was always around the house with us, especially my dad kept it on all the time. You know, he loved country music, traditional bluegrass music, good songwriters. And, you know, so I was raised on Doc Watson, Tony Rice, and
wow,
Nancy Griffith, and Bela Fleck, and all of this, you know, like I said, the Circle Beyond Broken album. And the thing was, when I moved, we moved to North Carolina when I was 5, right? So I got a fiddle for my 5th birthday, had a few lessons down in Florida at the picking parlor. what is it? Bluegrass Parlor, sorry,
Uh-huh.
down in Florida near Tampa, and which is actually the same area. That's where the Walker brothers first had their lessons,
Wow.
which I ended up meeting them years later. And now, Corey's he was one of the folks in the pictures at my wedding. And
Yeah.
anyway, I kept playing, and we moved up to North Carolina and got into the real Appalachian, thick
Oh yeah.
sorghum molasses kind of rich stuff.
Man.
Yeah.
Even when you drive through there, I mean, I could feel it. I don't know what it is. It's there. And being from Bristol, Tennessee, in that area all my life, that's all I heard was
Right.
Appalachian style music, bluegrass, and hardcore country was there.
Uh-huh.
And it was just crazy sometimes, man. I mean, you walk down the street and there's one of your heroes. It's like a mini Nashville used to
Right.
be. I mean,
Yeah.
you go to Ernest Tubbs record store and see Porter Wagner or, Conway Twitty walking out of there, going back up to the Opry to do their thing for the night. And I don't know, dude. It's just these things happen. I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, North Carolina, it was just a hotbed. That was where all that kind of percolated, and mountain people, they didn't have any much else to do at the end of the day but sit on their front porch and pick, and,
so much a way of life,
absolutely.
It wasn't for talent or for money or anything else or notoriety. Right. That's just what people did.
This was folk music. This was mountain music. This was their music. Arville never called it bluegrass until much later on. It's like, this was just music.
Mm-hmm.
People played what they heard on the radio, but they played all the old tunes and the Irish tunes, Scotch-Irish traditional tunes that kind of came down. So anyway, that's where I learned from Arville. And Arville had an older brother, Gordon Freeman, who was a wonderful old time fiddler. And he actually taught my buddy Josh Goforth around Asheville. And I learned a couple hundred tunes from Arville. And we used to go, the oldest, have you been to Mountain Dance and Folk Festival?
No, not yet.
Okay. That's I think it's the oldest continuing folk festival in the nation.
Wow.
And that was the first place. I played in churches and things like that before that, but that was really kind of the first public place that we got out and played. And so, like, having on Friday nights, there was picking in the park and in my hometown, Canton. And then Saturdays we'd go down to Shindig on the Green during the summer. And you'd have, Brian Sutton would be coming back and hanging out and playing. Bobby Hicks would stop by.
Yeah.
That was the kind of
that's the vibe,
that's the
man.
culture. Yeah.
Yeah. I met Bobby one time, man. It was like meeting royalty. This dude would just carried himself, and I've got a picture with him. And, normally you can hug up on somebody, but I was like, maybe I shouldn't, how Bobby gets sometimes, or how he used to get sometimes, man. He used to get kind of.
He was great, and he knew it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I love that.
He'd let you know it too.
You dang tootin', man. What about you teaching? There's a word on the street, man. She used to teach a lot, and did that come from the early part of your life, or something else?
I've been teaching, private lessons since I was 12.
Dang.
And I still do I still do a fair amount of teaching, about maybe one day a week. And I taught, actually, Josh Goforth, I mentioned him. He got me hooked up with the Asheville School of Music there.
Mm-hmm.
And I taught there for a good while. And I taught also, I mean, the game with teaching is that you teach in several different kind of locations and music stores.
Right.
And this was actually before COVID. I was kind of going around to different music stores when I moved back from Nashville. This was after I had gone to Nashville in the kind of 2010s. And I taught at several different, music stores and schools around there, and had some really wonderful students. It's nice to see that a lot of the younger players kind of want to keep this alive. They're still interested, and they're getting into it. There has been a sort of a, I don't want to say a falling away of, I don't know. There has been a sort of receding of the popularity of some bluegrass around the area. They used to teach square dance in public schools right up until like the 80s in North Carolina. It was still, we were actively investing in that.
Exactly.
Anyway, it's nice to see the young kids coming along. I love that. I love teaching. I love sitting down with the person and playing through tunes or playing through concepts. And I love that moment. It's so rewarding. It's one of the most rewarding things to me when I hear something click. I think, oh, I get it. I love that.
I mean, I'll just tell you, what you're talking about, the sort of, quote unquote, falling away of, the popularity of things. I have this thing about the Appalachian lifestyle, in the Appalachian region, which is a huge part of the country. Most people don't know that. I mean, you and I know that, but I wanted to see some of that come back, or say, interview somebody like Rita Forrester from Carter Fold and let her go through the story, So I sat down with her for almost an hour one day, and she just kept telling stories, talking about A.P. Carter and all these people. And if a lot of these younger kids knew those stories about how they grew up, what life was like, maybe it would intrigue them a little bit. I know that, ETSU has a couple of different classes that you can do like that. Of course, Dan Boner has been doing, wonders with the musical side of it. But,
right.
You talking about the Walker boys?
The Walker brothers, yeah.
Yeah.
Jared,
I mean,
Tyler,
just
Corey.
think about that. Where did that come from out of those guys? I interviewed Corey not long ago, and he was talking about his dad being a dentist or something. And I was like, well, what was it like when you sat down at the table one night and said, "Hey, Dad, I don't want to be a dentist. I want to play music for a living."
Yeah.
Wonder how that went over.
Well, I can tell you, they still went to school and got their degrees.
They did. That's what he said. He said, "I got that piece of paper."
So that's good. That's true. His dad is a very successful dentist down there. He's got a nice practice.
Yeah.
I guess he's out of it now. I think he's sold that.
Probably is.
But David, their dad, is also a kind of a jack of all trades in bluegrass music too.
I saw a video. He shot one day with his dad.
Right.
And I was like, "Whoa, that's it. What are you doing to your dad, man?"
Yeah. And then there's his granddad. The music was there. There was the lineage.
Mm-hmm.
The music was there. His granddad, their granddad, was a great dobro player, and they had it. They soaked it in. It was also in the Florida aquifer, apparently.
Yeah, I think
just North Carolina.
I want to mention a couple of names. I listen. Some of my favorite stuff is, I love Section House. I love that they're working on some new stuff, and you're involved with those guys. Charm City Junction. Yeah, I mean, this whole line of who you're working with, man. That has, I don't know, that just brings out something in me. Maybe it's the Appalachian stuff, but also adding the new style of how guys are playing now. And Mark Schatz is another guy that you're dealing with here. That's what just, you see how you got closer to the camera there? That's what it does. That's what it does to me. I just go, whoa. Well, I don't know what that is, but I love it. That's why I wanted to, do things like this. I want to kind of try to document some of this, the beauty of things. We don't want to lose this.
Right. We're trying for, new things, and we're, we have this, I and a lot of others have this kind of tradition steeped in the, the old culture, but there are other, I think it can still be kind of vibrant and alive.
It
And
can.
that's what we're kind of looking for. There's always, I'm a firm believer in that, you never kind of you never get to the end of the bucket. You never exhaust what you can actually kind of do and the different ways that you can present these styles. And yeah, I think early on, I think leaning into jazz, listening to a lot of jazz and starting out with like Django Reinhardt and getting some influences from improvisational music.
Sure.
That where there's a really long form to soloing,
That's right.
That helps. That helped me, I think, have a lot of ideas for like, other possibilities to kind of reimagine what's going on, or to bring those elements back into bluegrass and traditional music.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I love those are the things that I also love too. It's like kind of the crossroads of all this stuff. I grew up I played in a family band. I was taking lessons from Arvel, but we also had this family band that was playing a bunch of shows when we were younger. And Dad played clawhammer banjo.
Yeah.
We were definitely like more on the bluegrass side, but Dad's, it was already from the very get-go. I was involved in this sort of like some kind of fusion of something.
Exactly.
Right?
And you can't put a little pin in it. You can't stop it. You can't look at it and say, okay, this is what this is. It's just there.
There's all these different genres and divides, and they're convenient and they help us kind of like categorize things, but they're also just kind of our own constructs, and that doesn't mean that we have to kind of keep them that way. But that said, I love a good bluegrass song.
Yeah. And Mountain Fever kind of likes you too. I'll say that.
Oh, do they?
Talking with Amanda Cook, and she's like, Bryan McDowell just has it steep and it's coming out his ears. I don't know what to do. And I'm like, just leave him alone. Let him do what he does. So many people try to take a music.
They're really good people. Amanda's
they're
really good people.
How is she doing all that by herself? That's what I want to know. I mean,
she seems to be holding her own. I mean,
geez, man.
She's kind of, been a big engine behind that for a long time, and I'm not surprised that she's doing great with this.
I just like to see people do good that work hard,
Yes.
And she works hard.
She works very, very hard. I don't know how she keeps up with everything that she's got going on at the label.
Well, she gave me a list of her day today, and I was like, what? How are you doing all of that in 24 hours? And when do you sleep?
Yeah. And I think she's got 2 kids.
Yeah, I think so.
That's great. Anyway,
family and music, and that's where music comes in and becomes a part of your life on the deep side, kind of like what's happened with you. Family band, and you felt, I guess something happened when you started playing. And was it your dad's idea to have this family band, or what was the deal?
No, I'm not going to take credit for it, but I think it was just kind of this natural thing. It was like, okay, I asked for the fiddle, but Dad kept the music on. He kept the environment there, and they always, were kind of, they always were very supportive, not pushing us, but they always were very supportive of that music. And it's kind of, I think of it like now, like it's a full circle thing, because
it is.
I'm looking down at this. The banjo's not in the case. I'm looking down at the case on the floor right next to me. The banjo's not in the case. It's in the living room, and he loves to go up to the banjo. I'll set it on the floor in front of him,
Yeah.
This is actually Carol Best's old banjo. I'm not sure if you are familiar with him. Carol was a
Yeah.
early
Yeah.
early melodic style banjo player, and I was good friends with his grandson, his late grandson, and so anyway, I have ended up with this banjo from him from the family, and it's such a kind of surreal moment to to watch Lyle reach over. That's the first thing he reaches for the strings. He's figured that out. That's what makes the sound.
Wow.
Loves that. I walk into a living room, and if music starts, he just gravitates to that. He wants to stop. Yeah.
How old is he now?
He's 6 months.
Wow. At 6 months old.
Oh, he's less attentive now than he used to be with music, actually.
Wow.
But yeah, he loves.
Tell me this: when he was conceived, just think about this: when your wife was pregnant, did you play music to him?
Oh yeah, that was very intentional.
Now that's what I'm saying. Everybody says different things about stuff like that, but there is a definite science to that.
We played music to him, and he typically kicked when he started hearing the fiddle.
That is crazy.
And that's all these things I'm talking about, maybe somewhat anecdotal, but it's the same thing like I was talking about with the teaching moment, like when you see this sort of like immediate sort of like human response.
Exactly. I get it, man.
Yeah.
We worked with the JAM program in Abingdon, Virginia.
Okay.
Junior Appalachian musician.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I've worked with them too.
Yeah. And
in North Carolina.
They were what they were doing just clicked something inside of me too. I was running a museum at the time. And we had a little pick and place there on Thursday night. But I didn't know how to put that in a box. You know what I'm saying? You can't. Now that I'm a little older, I've learned you can't. You just got to leave it be, Yeah. So.
Yeah. You just try to expose them to something. Something that's, this music is the thing that's kind of like one of the most human things that we do. And it's deep in us, and he'll respond to that. And this, like he sees a painting on the wall and he responds to that too. Like it's immediate, kind of like connection. It's like, what is this?
Well, I've heard
something meaningful. We can't put our finger on it, but there's something of deep meaning here that I need to connect with. Just like learning to talk, it's a different language. But he hears it and goes, okay, this is something that I need to check out.
Soak it in. That is so true. Wow. So when are you going to be out on the road again? I'm sure everybody wants to know.
Yeah. Well, I'm playing with a lot of. I did the one tour earlier this year. As the band leader with Jake Jolliffe and just all of my. I was really lucky to get to hire some of my favorite players for that. Jake Starzl, my buddy Jake Starzl, who engineered the album.
Right.
And that was back in May. I've got actually a camp coming up with some of the same players.
Wow.
That'll be in August. And we'll be announcing that soon. And other than that, I'm playing a bit with the Slow Can Ramblers.
Yeah.
And we're doing about one weekend a month. And then I'm also playing with Mark Schatz. That's the next thing. The next thing coming up with him is in April.
Okay.
So that's an East Coast tour. And we'll actually be coming down to ETSU, I think, doing a little clinic or something.
There. You need to come down. Yeah, man. I used to love Down Home. What a place.
I'm so excited. I have never actually been there, but everybody knows about the place. It's such an institution.
Oh, it is. It is.
And so I'm really excited to be doing that finally.
Yeah.
Finally, after years, we've been talking about it for a long time. So we'll hit up that, do a little bit of teaching because Mark is has that in his bag of tricks as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think some teaching on the Eastern Shore. Yeah, that's in April. That'll be a good time. And then we'll wrap around and come back to the Baltimore Old Time Festival, which was just announced.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember the dates now. I think maybe it's the 19th of April, something like that.
Yeah, I think so. I saw that today.
Yeah.
Well, you got this killer single on Mountain Fever, and it was our hot shot of the week last week. There's something about what you do with a mandolin, and that's all I'm going to say. People need to listen to this song. You know?
Yeah. This hold me like I'm leaving.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
God.
That I was so excited to have that tune on the album. You try out a lot of different songs, like a lot of different shirts when you're looking for material. I can write my own stuff, but there's certain things that I knew that I kind of needed a song that fit a certain vibe on the album.
Oh yeah.
And this was, I was just kind of digging around, and I had this kind of collection of material that I liked, and I really felt like I could move forward with this, but this was kind of the keystone.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
And I found it, and I don't know, I sat down with it. It was like the first couple times, I don't remember if I was kind of imagining it like this in my head, but the first couple times I just kind of like gravitated towards a mandolin, and I was really more focused on the voice.
Yeah.
The mandolin is just kind of like the engine that's supposed to be driving it, but it's like, it's this rock song, but I had it, I was imagining it in a bluegrass stomp feel.
Yeah, you were hearing it differently.
Right.
You can tell when you start moving through this song that it was something else. But after about the first, I don't know, 5-6 seconds of hearing what you're doing with this mandolin, I was just like, I don't know what you call it, but I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there was something as I was playing, there's something that I was like, when you get a sense, when you've heard the original and you go, okay, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can play it for a little while and you don't miss like kind of the original. I mean, no disrespect, I love the original version of this, but when you start not missing it and going, okay, yeah, this is a completely new thing.
Right.
And I can just kind of like fall into that, just kind of like settle into those waters. That I think that was kind of the clincher for me deciding to put it on the album.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I just went down to Jake Stargell's. I guess he still kind of got that studio set up in his house there. And I cut it with him and Dan Kimbrough. Dan is Jerry Douglas's bassist.
Right.
And then Jeff Parton came in and added dobro later.
Wow.
But for the most part, the vocal and the mandolin was very, very live.
Yeah. I mean, the whole mix on this thing was great. And
so
they can
all credit to Jake there.
Oh man. When it started, and you guys just took it over and did what you needed to do. I mean, it was not even, I think that was just something that just happened, You
right.
don't, like you're saying, settling into the waters. That is a killer way to say that. Okay. I'm going to write that down. And when you put it in your next song, just give me 50% or whatever.
50%.
50 is kind of steep, isn't it?
Well, I mean, who knows what makes a song? So you do one line.
Yeah.
We'll see if it's the hook line or not.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good. Well, Bryan, it's been a joy sitting down talking to you, man. I hope we get to catch you out on the road somewhere. And
what a pleasure, Rick. This is a good time. Hopefully we'll see you down in Georgia.
Oh yeah, brother. We live here, so just let us know when you come.
All right, buddy.
All right, man.
Thanks so much, Rick.
Yeah, man. Rick Dollar here for the Rick Dollar Show, and I've been talking to Mr. Bryan McDowell.
This has been the Rick Dollar Show podcast. The Rick Dollar Show podcast is produced by Radio Dog Productions. Theme music is written and performed by Jeremy Garrett at garrettgrass.com. The Rick Dollar Show podcast cannot be reproduced or rebroadcast without express written consent from Radio Dog Productions. I'm Kent Jones, and this has been a Radio Dog production.